So the year now is 2088. The towers are still working. That is cleared up just a little bit of pollution there. I'm not sure if that's pollution or that's just being licked by water. But all the trees have changed, haven't they? They're nice and pretty and full and green. I'm not pumping any dirty water to the farmland anymore. So that's kind of cool too. But I'm still polluting the city. We've leveled off, I guess, because we ran out of dirty water here. It's dropped down to 10%. Population is up to 13,000 now. Let's put this on 3. Ambulance still rule the world, or still rule the roads. But I did do something different with the hospital. Separated them a little bit. Got this bus stop here to be more involved with the hospitals. So a lot more people will, going home. Right? More people use now transit, if not walk, to the hospital. And the ambulance, was that sweet? They have an easier way of getting in and out of the hospital now. If I keep going on with this water pollution stuff, yeah, I may have to put it. How are we doing? No. After doing this, I'm trying to figure out, can I build a 3 complex here? Like a tri-complex of hospitals. Looks nice. Now that I'm densing out this area, this pathway is getting a whole lot more use. Oh look, someone's sick. Surprise, surprise. And they're sick by, oops, of all things, water. Oh, hold on. Ambulance must have just picked him up. Yep. The sick person just got picked up. So they're not waiting long for service, are they? Whether they walk to the hospital or they wait for an ambulance. So it's traffic and I guess medical service. This is all ironed out now. And I think we're not on a steady growth. Here, let me just check off these. 2088, there we go. See, more stable population growth. Clearly, people are not dying because of the poisoning of the water. They are dying of old age. They're not living to 90 years old. 69, that could be better. Yeah. For 13,000, that's not too much, or too much healthcare. I mean, seeing that they're dealing with pollution. That's a level 5 building. The whole area is level 5. Where is it? Right? Water pollution. Still playing away with pathways here. I want to see if I can get them from their house to join the back path. So I think next week after work, that's what I'm going to be doing. Staring people down. But if you have water pollution, I bet you've been living with it for quite some time. It just finally impacted something. and got things backed up to the point where people started to die. And I bet you that thing that got backed up was your traffic. It could be healthcare, because nobody thinks to put in healthcare. Either way, you're looking at 12,000, 13,000 population city with not a care in the world. Value getting higher. Population getting higher. And they're not dying. They're not dying at all. And, you know, I'd like to leave it there. But, yeah, I think I'm going to make another clip. But seeing that this is so short, I'm going to add it onto here. Yeah, here's the footage. What you're about to see is pretty much the reason why the water pollution did what it did. And if there's anything to take from this, it would be, don't be afraid to put a water tower in the middle of your city. Just try to mitigate the noise. Anyways, let's do this. Got another set of them out there. I thought I'd use them to counteract the poisoning of the water, you know, push water back in. And I kind of thought, well, what I thought and what happened were two different things. I kind of thought I could push back the water, but when I started poisoning the city, though, right? Remember me making the claim that now that I'm poisoning the whole city, this street will always get polluted? And then I was quite taken by the fact that it wasn't. That this part was clean and weird water mechanics. Right? I mean, the polluted water is coming from over here. This is the only connection. That's actually the T. So, it kind of confused me, but I kept on with the video. Well, there's a reason why that confused me, and there's a reason why that happened. While I was trying to get this to look a little bit better and add the third hospital to the place, I came across this. This the water tower, I bet you, is the original water tower to the whole town. It kind of makes sense that it's there. Because I had a little bit of water systems in for the farms, but for the town, I didn't put a water system out for a little while until I got stretched out to there. Well, or maybe here. I think there was a water pump here. But finding that makes this make sense now. Remember how it was kind of scattered? But it's not scattered. If you look at this and overlay this, they're pretty much the same thing. Right? There's the water, bad water. Right, they're right in the same spot. And that confused me for quite some time. It's like, well, what is that dynamic all about? And it wasn't until I started moving this third hospital over where I realized there's this water tower pushing out against the pollution. Isn't that what that is doing? Some of it's getting passed and it's collecting. I don't know what's representing there. It may be the fact that there's two ways for the water to go this way and that way, and there's resistance either way. But at the end of the day, it's looking like that. If I take that water tower out of there, I need to put down 2 more hospitals, and then 3. Because what happened then is this clean water's pushing in, this clean water's pushing in, there's clean water here pushing in along with that pump out here. That's working, so that's adding pressure. So what happens here is the bad water that I'm creating gets pushed out to here and gets stopped. So they start to fill a puddle here and a puddle here. They start hitting a major residential area. And I don't have enough hospitals for that. Yeah, it starts building up. It goes to 11%, and then by the time I stopped it, it was 29%. I still had hospitals, and they were still being treated, but traffic was getting worse and worse. And I bet you I was coming up to the limit of ambulance. So, the best thing to do with water pollution is to go hunt it down and take it out. But if you're only struggling with 1% water pollution, if you want, you can play with it. Because now these hospitals, that one's almost full, that one's almost full. How about you out there? Right, they're being used. You can see they're being used. Unfortunately, they're adding to the traffic. But they're being used, and they're being, it's working. So if you have 1% water pollution, take a look at where they're sick and see if you can plop down a hospital. If you have traffic problems and you get water pollution, well, then the first thing that you got to do is, well, I guess, hunt down the water pollution, but fix your traffic. Because I think it's showing us that our traffic is not good enough for an emergency, or that our cities are not quite good enough to handle an emergency. Yeah. Back to the neighborhood. I want to talk about this. Actually, what I should do is perhaps shut down the water, the poison water. Could you imagine the upgrading? Ding, 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 ding. It'd be pretty silly for a while. So the lessons here. If you have water pollution, take it out. If it's 1% or just a small percentage, you could probably head it off. Right? I mean, I know that if I take this water tower out, well, then the pressure coming in from the periphery is just going to concentrate that dirty water into the center of my city. Well, there's a lesson. Don't put all your water systems in one area, and don't put them on the periphery. Have something in the middle to push out. Back to my pathways. Ciao for now.